My name is Diana Steinhauser. I am from DC. As soon as I got engaged, someone forwarded me the Instagram video of the rainbow dress that Kelsey did, Domenico did, with the white and the reveal and the rainbow, and everyone was like, this is your designer, go. And I'm so glad they did because I wasn't able to find any dresses that fit my personality. I chose pink for hair and of course what I wanted to include in this beautiful dress, because that's where my fiance and I met. It was in pink. He loves the pink hair on me, he loves the accessories and the coordination. And even when I dabble in blue and teal and yellow, and as soon as I come back to the pink, he's like, oh, there you are. Like it feels like home for him. And so I wanted to make sure for our wedding day that that same color and inspiration and like nostalgia for when we first met was brought back to the day. I think from first fitting to now, final fitting, the back has to be the best part. I love that we added more depth in the ombre at the bottom of the skirt, but taking the vine work that we have on the front and going up the back, that design choice to extend it made it it elevated it so much. And then all the little changes that we can't even see, but I know is there, it made the whole dress a lot better. I feel like they were heard, they were acted, they were done, and I just feel like it really took it to a whole new level. Yeah, my fiance and I met online, dating apps as the way of the new millennia. I think we're both introverts, so I don't know that we would have crossed paths, or we certainly wouldn't have approached each other at a bar or anything like that. It was sort of the perfect opportunity for us to get to know each other. We messaged each other back and forth first there for several weeks before we even had our first date. And it just instilled some confidence and relationship building. And then when we met, we were like, yeah, this is it, that we clicked. It was easy. And even along the beginning, I remember being like, I don't know if this is right. I'm not feeling anxious. I'm like, wait, what am I talking about? Like feeling comfortable, happy, and safe with someone from the start is so rare that I didn't even recognize that as something special. And that made a huge difference. And that's what got us here 7 years later. A lot of journey definitely went into, I think everybody experiences a lot when they're dating, finding the right person, lots of first dates only maybe, and those kinds of experiences. And then, right, that sense of like learning what I need, learning what makes me feel safe, makes me feel supported, heard, even if someone doesn't have the same feelings or experiences I do, but someone that validates those feelings and lets me be myself and provides that comfort. That was a journey I went through on my own. And then when I found someone who provided those things, that's when I started recognizing that I needed them. I didn't notice that they were missing in other experiences and relationships. So that comfort, that safety, that support, that love, that ease, it made a big difference in knowing that this is the person I'm supposed to be with. Lots of amazing details, lots of surprises for sure. As you pointed out, so lovely that you added something blue for our special day. Taking the design on the back even more was I had it in my mind, and then you executed it in a way that I wasn't prepared for it to be at that level, I guess. So that was a beautiful surprise. Painting the bottom, hand painting the bottom, we talked about it, but I think getting it done and seeing it in person with the beautiful train, it made it really special. I went to, I think, 3 bridal stores, we'll call them, and the first one I remember leaving in tears. It was not only a miserable experience, but there was nothing for me, and there was nothing, and the only things in color were bridesmaids dresses or prom dresses, which look like prom dresses. They don't look bridal. And I went to another salon that had, I think, 3 dresses that had some color on them. But they didn't have the design in stock. They couldn't find my size. It wasn't in order. It was, to me, pretty expensive for not even getting the exact dress I wanted. I'm just so grateful that I reached out to you, Kelsey, and worked with getting a customized vision of what I wanted. The online dress shopping is amazing and also terrible, because there's a million AI images out there that you think are real dresses you can order, and you realize that it's just someone's inspiration. And it's just so, I think it was a bit discouraging in the beginning, trying to narrow down what I wanted and what I could afford and what's not coming from another country and maybe not actual dress or even quality. And I think this custom dress experience has changed my mind of what I can do, what I can afford, and type of care I should be able to get for myself or something important. I would absolutely encourage people to think about a custom dress. I thought it would be way too far out of my budget. I didn't think we'd be able to get it done in time. I didn't think I would be able to articulate what I needed and wanted to someone with a creative design mind, because I don't know anything about making clothes. But I can only speak for Kelsey and your design process that it was easy. It really was. Checking in throughout, sending you pictures, sending images that were, from all over the place, and making adjustments throughout. It gave me a lot of confidence. I just feel so relieved to have something so beautiful and unique, which is a bigger part of my personality, is being unique. And having a unique dress with someone receptive to feedback, receptive to ideas, creative, giving me things to put in my hair, like it's what I needed. And so anybody who has hesitations about budget was my biggest hesitation, but just, will it take too long? Is it not gonna be what I want in the end? Like, I can speak from my experience that it turned out amazing. I'm so happy that that was a choice I made, and I would encourage any friends, any people I know, if they ask me about it, I have no problem referring and saying, do it. It's worth it. Even, it doesn't have to be a wedding dress. There are lots of events that require special outfits, and I think if you can wrap your head around the quality that you're getting, it's absolutely worth every penny. I did not really want a veil. I had considered a birdcage at one point, but with short hair, I don't know, the bridal community, or at least the typical bridal tradition things, don't have a lot for short hair. They want you to have this long swept with a veil. And when Kelsey and I talked through the back and the design, and I saw where we were going with it, I was like, there's no way we're covering this up with a veil. It needs to be seen. So then immediately we thought of, what else can we do? What earrings can we find? What amazing florals can we put in my short hair to coordinate it all together, get it into the design, and elevate it to not just a regular dress, but a bridal dress, and with my style added on it. And that made a huge difference. I wouldn't even consider putting a veil over this, because it all needs to be seen, it all needs to be shown. And I feel grateful that my own individual style was incorporated, not covered up, not taken away, not foregone for a traditional look. And that creativity and the excitement around creativity made a big difference for me. I think when I first came in, we had sent pictures back and forth about what my hair would likely be, but coming into the first fitting, we saw how vibrant and how different lighting pulls out different shades in my hair, and the pink we wanted. The bottom was beautifully dip dyed, pink, but it was just one plain pink. And we talked about the depth of tones and trying to incorporate the ombre, and Kelsey had the amazing idea to try to hand paint it so that it's darker in certain shades and gets to that lighter pink, so that we're picking all up the hair, we're incorporating the flowers, and it made all the difference. That's the showstopper, is the train and the bottom. It's just made a huge difference, and I feel, again, confident that my style was incorporated in the dress, not the other way around. And that elevated, again, the beautiful ombre shade that everybody's going to be asking me about. We are being very strategic about how we see each other on the day of. Many people do a first look. Some people, again, don't do the traditional first see at the aisle, but we live together, and I think that surprise and delight and excitement would be a great building moment for us, and it's a very intimate wedding. So I hope that my fiance, when he turns around, I hope that he's blown away. I hope that he sees me and my beautiful pink. Obviously, I hope he cries, but if he's just excited and happy and sees his wife at the end of that, I think that would make me feel fulfilled and make me feel like not only did I get to be myself, but he saw the vision that I had walking down the aisle. Thankfully, my family and friends are super supportive about my choices, including, my expression and who I choose to love and who I fall in love with. And being in an interracial relationship, thankfully, is not an issue for us here in the metropolitan DC area, but I grew up in Georgia, I grew up in the South. I never questioned it, that my family would support me. I never questioned that my friends would support me. But I know that doesn't mean that everybody we meet and we pass along the street. We've had one or two very minor incidences of strangers making comments and things, but he's never questioned, who I am, and I've never questioned him. And his family is amazing. They just welcome me with open arms. They're a second family now for me. They live nearby, so we get support and love and care from them. And his mother-in-law calls me daughter already. So I feel very comforted, supported, and not targeted or oppressed in any way by other people. Thankfully, the haters are the minority, and we have a lot of love around us. Yeah, we have some really great things built into mainly our reception to incorporate both our background. Again, I grew up in Georgia, so for example, one thing that's really popular is boiled peanuts in the South. It sounds maybe a little suspicious, but it's delicious, it's salty, it's messy, it's just good. And we were able to use his work. He works at a restaurant. They have like a 5-star chef, and he's gonna cater our wedding, and he's doing appetizers that are 3 different types of boiled peanuts. So we're actually bringing that into our wedding reception. And then we are looking into some local DC food. You know, we got mumbo sauce included in our menu. We're gonna play some Chuck Brown. You know, we can't not include that in our music and the DJ. We're just gonna make sure that it's blended. We've got all the, you know, the wobble, the cha-chas. We've got things that, you know, my family, if we got together, we probably would just sit around. But we're gonna make sure that everybody's on the floor together, having a great time, learning the dance moves with everybody else helping each other out. And I know that there's just gonna be a lot of joy that day. So far, being together, we have not had too many issues, as I mentioned, with being in an interracial relationship. Obviously, being in a marriage does step up the game and steps up our seriousness of our relationship. And, you know, I've been really fortunate that he has always had my back, and anybody who's ever said anything, I don't want to say so what, like he doesn't care, but it's just not even something he would entertain. It's not something he's going to listen to. He's not something he's going to accept. If somebody in his family had any issues with me, I know that he would address it, and then we would make a choice about if that person needed to continue in our lives. So I'm really fortunate that he has never questioned who I am, my background, my family, and vice versa. His family is very loving and caring, and they just want us to be happy. So I think leaning into each other, leaning into identifying as the person, as Alan, as Diana. You know, I think more people recognize me as a pink-haired person than a white person. So I think loving that version of myself is what makes us special and what makes us impervious to any negativity that might come our way.